I love it. Are you guys awake?
Yes.
You going to the Navy? You going to be a SEAL? You be a Navy SEAL?
Maybe.
Game on. Can you do pull-ups? Oh, that's
yet.
the Marines.
Not
You got to
yet.
be able to do. All right, he can't do pull-ups yet. Get him on pull-ups. Come on, boys. All right, let's do some announcements. Go. Wait, he told you about this one, so you answer this one.
All right, middle school boys, Bible study is like next Monday.
Like tomorrow, right? Like tomorrow. So it's right here, starting 10 Commandments. There's like 6 of you guys already signed up for it. But tomorrow, middle school boys start their 10 Commandments Bible study. What time are you starting, Shane? 6 o'clock, right here. All right, sweet. You going? Judgment. Oh, and also, I wrote on my hand another announcement that's not up there before we get started. It's right there. Hello. Movie. So middle school girls, just middle school girls? All girls. And boys. So middle school girls and boys, middle schoolers. There's a movie on the 18th, right here after second service. So you guys are watching a movie together. Ooh, we'll turn the lights down low, and you'll be like, ooh, boys and girls in a movie. What? 15th. 15th. We already made that mistake. It's this, so next Sunday. Next Sunday during the third service till about 1:30, you guys are watching a movie right here. We'll pop some popcorn. The 15th, movie, here, middle school people. You guys can get beanbags and snuggle. Just kidding. No, you can't. Anyway, go ahead. Next announcement.
Peru mission trip info meeting January 8th. Right here in the OcYth building.
It is today after this service. So after this service, high schoolers, if you are 16, you have to be 16 years old of age by July to attend this meeting. So, mission trip out of the country. Is that it? That's all the announcements we have? Hold on. You guys have high school Bible study. When's that starting? Tomorrow. So also the high school girls. Bible studies here tomorrow. What else am I missing? A whole bunch of all Bible studies start tomorrow. Wednesday, we start crew Bible study. Shh, I know you guys are like freaking out about how many Bible studies are started. This week, all the Bible studies start. Crew on Wednesday, we're watching The Chosen. But now, has anybody seen the movie, the Top Gun movies? Has anybody watched those? How about the old one? Anybody watch the old one too? Girls, you should watch it just for the volleyball scene. Oh, dreamy. I wish I looked like that still. And guys, when you learn to drive, I watched both of those movies, and after you watch those movies, you feel like you're driving a rocket ship. You're like, Mach 7, yeah! Anyway, it's just a lot of fun. So here's some trivia about real life Top Gun. So go ahead, men. Shane bought a prize for you on this. Here's the prize. Shane bought prizes. It's wireless earbuds, or wired earbuds. I don't know. Read it.
Hands-free earphones.
There you go. So that means wireless, right? Hands-free. Just hands-free. I don't know what that means.
You can do like karate with your hands?
You're just not holding your ears.
So it's an ABCD game. You answer each question correctly. A is up here, B's back there, C's back there, D's back here.
D. All right.
What is the name of the plane that Maverick flies to reach March 10th?
Mach 10. Mach 10.
Mach 10.
Mach 10. So you have to stand up and go to A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D. What is the name of the airplane?
A, B, C, D.
What is the name of that airplane? Ugh.
Mach 7.
Brady, what do you think?
Mach 10.
Mach 10. The first one, they made it to Mach 5. And then technology changed in the last 20 years.
Brady, what do you think the answer is?
All right, B's over here. B's over here. A, B, C in this corner, D. All right, 3, 2, 1. It is the Dark Star. Everybody else can sit down. Go ahead, man.
Top Gun is a special unit in which branch of military?
Coast Guard. Coast Guard have planes. And
I like how they're debating it out. They're like, wait a second, I think there's airplanes. 3, 2, 1. It is the Navy. It is the Navy. Go sit down, the rest of you, people that didn't pick the Navy. You're like, wait, there's planes. Why wouldn't it be the Air Force? It is the Navy. Sit down.
True or false? Top Gun Maverick is Tom Cruise's first film to make
$1 billion.
A is over here. B's on that side. A, B.
Is that his first $1 billion movie?
I don't know what the original Top Gun movie is, but it was a while ago. The ticket prices are higher now.
It's true. It's true. 1 billion. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's true is over here. False is over here. True. Falsification. True. Falsification. 3, 2. Yeah, he was in Mission Impossible. That's right. 2, 1 is true. $1 billion.
How much did Navy recruitment raise after the original Top Gun movie released?
Did Navy recruitment go up 300 times? A.
A.
B. 500 times. C. 700. D. 900. Everybody's debating now. They're like, we got a couple of them going 700. He's like, I'm going to go for the win. Bro, I like your style. That's 900, yes.
900. Bro, come on. Eli, just go for the win.
If it's C, B, oh, C's going for the winner. All right, 3,
Oh, he's going for the win?
2, 1. It went up 500.
Now you sit
So
down.
we got 2 men. So
You
you
little
guys go up to
cheater.
the front.
We got two
We
left.
got 2 left in. 2 left in. Beats, Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
Where did the producers get Maverick's P-51 Mustang for the movie? Borrowed from World War II Museum? Borrowed from George W. Bush? National Air Force hangar? D. Tom Cruise owns it.
They just went straight there. I feel like they know the answer to this one. Tom Cruise does own a P-51 Mustang, which is dope. It is an airplane that goes real fast, Clark. No, don't yell it out. Stop it.
What game did they play on the beach in Top Gun Maverick?
In Maverick. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, like everybody thinks they know the answer now. All the losers sitting down. Let them make their own choices. Peer pressure. No, you all lost.
How much did it cost to use the F-18 jets for the movie? $1,000 an hour?
You don't know the
$3,000
answer to
an hour,
this.
$6,000 an hour? Or $11,000 an hour?
I like how they're in the same class and now they're debating. They're like, we want to win. Doesn't matter.
Either way, they win.
You guys are both saying $6,000
I mean,
an hour.
they could like split the
Max, you not changing your mind? If there's no winner, I can't give any points away. All right, 3, 2. Wait, he's trying. You're wrong. You're both wrong. All right, they both stay in. It was $11,000 an hour.
From which country was the enemy in Top Gun Maverick? China, North Korea, Russia, or unknown?
You guys both staying the same? Nobody's going to split it up to see if they can win. I'm not giving any prizes to if you both win. Three,
Oh, Max.
2, 1. You should have gone to D. It's unknown. Both movies, they were unknown.
Top Gun Maverick was released in 2022, but started filming in what year?
2014, 2016.
I know, they just stand
2018,
there.
Or 2020.
Go for the win, Max.
Three, 2, 1. It was 2018. We have a winner. Girls, did you watch how boys make choices? We all just like follow everybody. They're like, dude, don't punch you in the face. Get over there. That's how that's how our collective brain works.
What is Maverick's actual first name in the movie?
Anybody know?
Ethan, Jack, or Ray?
It is not Jack, it's Pete. Tiebreaker. There's no tiebreaker.
Which actor has a parent who also flew an F-18 jet in the popular movie in the 1900s? In the 90s.
In the 1800s. Because we're that old.
Tom Cruise,
Praise team, you
Miles
can
Teller,
jog up
Louis
there.
Pullman, or Glenn Powell?
It was Louis Pullman. It was in the movie Independence Day where he was the president and flew in the jet. And he's like, this is our Independence Day. No, nothing. Will Smith was in that movie. Nothing? Wow. Huh,
Yep.
that wasn't that long ago. All right, I guess there's no praise band today. Oh, key tag bingo. Yeah, go ahead, get those key tags out. Last two numbers are
60.
60.
37.
37. Oh, wait, we got one. 37. Aislinn for the W. She got it. Last, yeah.
I know.
Aislinn's our winner. All right, praise and worship team. Yeah.
I have this. There you go.
All right, guys, let's stand up together and worship. If you haven't gone to see it, go see it in theaters. It's awesome. This is not a marketing for Top Gun.
It'll put hair on your chest.
All you cast before you is your burden weighing. Is it all too much to carry? Do you feel that the shame's done? Are you grasping for He makes a way when there ain't no way. Rises up, coming empty grave. Ain't no sinner that he can't save. Let me tell you about my Jesus. His love is strong and His grace is free. And the good news is I know it is to do for you what He's done for me. can say, let me tell you about my Jesus. Love is strong in His graces. Everything goes in as I know it. Do for you what is done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus. Let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, guys, let's pray together. God, we come before you today. We thank you just for all that you do for us. God, we ask that you be with the service today and just be with Dwight as he brings your word. Just open up our hearts and our minds and let us hear from you and what you have to say to us this morning. Just thank you for all that you do for us and go with us throughout this week. In your name, amen.
Amen.
I'm out of breath.
Yeah, breath. You were hustling it. It's because we're dads and we get big. I got you, Josh, because I love you. There you go, boss man. How you feeling today? You good? Good morning. Okay, I got a couple. All right, we'll take that. All right, 3. Well, next week we're going to. So last week we started service. First of all, I need to apologize first and foremost. Last week, I got up on stage, and I don't know if anybody gets migraines. Anybody get migraines? Where are my migraines? Okay, so migraine people know exactly what it means when I got up on the stage. Luckily, I was wearing a hat because every time I looked up, the lights hit my eyes, and I about puked every single time. So I'm not sure. I apologized to the leaders last week and said, if I didn't make any sense last weekend, I was dying in my face. And so not only were there boogers, there was a migraine going on too. So most people said I made sense. The rest of them, I fell asleep anyway, so not a big deal. And so I just wanted to apologize if it didn't make total sense. But I want to just say, hey, listen, we started this sermon series, talked about Refocus last week. And I had a lot of fun starting it, even though I was having a migraine. But the idea of refocusing on God, you guys are going through a lot of stuff right now. Seriously, a lot of stuff. The first datings, breakups, driving cars, moving to new schools, figuring out who you are, becoming an adult. We won't get into all those creepy details. But you guys are figuring out life, and it's hard and it's tough. And so over the last couple sermon series, we talked about, okay, this is how the world handles it, and this is how we as Christians handle it. And so eventually you guys are going to have to share your faith, share what you believe in, share your knowledge, share your understanding, whether that is becoming a parent, whether that's becoming a teacher or whatever job profession. Eventually, you're going to be the leaders. I started talking a little bit before, my migraine got really bad last week. We had a really great conversation with middle school girls a couple weeks ago when they said, hey, why do we have to follow authority? And why is there so much authority? And I said, eventually, you will become that. But what I wanted to say last week as I was trying to tell that story was, hey, listen, you're getting a lot of it right now from teachers, parents, small group leaders, a lot of people telling you what to do. And I get that that's frustrating. I understand that. But when you first start at whatever food joint that you're at, the guy that starts at Wendy's doesn't start off as the manager, most likely. When you first get the job, you get to run the fry machine. Shake. Yeah, I know, it's exciting at first, but then when you've done it 7 billion times in one day, and you're like, this is stupid! I just want to do something else. Some of you guys have done it, and you're like, this is the worst job. But here's the deal. You can't be the greatest manager if you don't understand the struggles of the fry cook, or the guy that has to run the grill, or when the bun machine breaks. You got to learn the systems first before you can be a really good leader in the system. And so that's the part of life that you guys are in, that you're learning the systems, how to learn, how to study, how to be a good leader, how to lead other people to what you believe. So if you finally got firm, I believe in this. Okay, now how do you tell somebody else about it? How do you share it without conflict, or at least when there is conflict? You're learning a lot of things. Right now you're in life where you have to be a really good fry cook first. You have to be SpongeBob first before you can get to the register, or you can get to the management level, or you can get to ownership level. Same thing with parents. They're, yes, parents. But how are you going to be a parent if you're not taught discipline? You're not taught how to clean up a room, how to, all those things that you hate right now. I promise you, if you become very good at them right now, your parents will give you a lot longer leash in doing other things in life, because you've already figured out how to do the things that come with being a decent human being. And so I wanted to stop in our sermon series, and I wanted to start the new year because I said, remember, 95% of all New Year's resolutions fail. 95% of them, by the end of the year, they will have failed miserably. For some of you guys, you're like, yeah, week 1, already done. So let's refocus on God, and let's just tell the basic stories and try to understand and give you guys the tools so that when people go, hey, listen, gentlemen, that is extremely distracting to everybody around you. Please put it away. Thank you. Everybody's focused on that. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that as we refocus on God, I want to give you some of the tools so that if you get in the situation, you can share your faith. You can talk about what you believe in. And so, but I also want to do it not from a pastor standpoint because, yeah, as a pastor, I have this Christian worldview. I want to show you both sides. I want to be fair to the other side that says, no, this is how the world is and the way it should be. And so the way I liken it, I want to go all the way back to the beginning, the very beginning of the Bible, creation story. Some of you guys are in those classes where you have to worry about like the Big Bang Theory, right? And you're like, answer it, it's 40 billion years old, and this animal is 40 million years old, and we evolved from goo and all those things. And okay, let's put yours up to mine, and let's have just a logical conversation. But one of the reasons your mom and dad love you, and most of you guys have moms and dads that love you. I know there's certain outstanding, but you have somebody in your life that's caring for you and loving you, and most days. And some days you're like, they hate me. I get it. That's part of being raised in a bad fry cook. Like they got to discipline you, and you hate that. I get it. But one of the reasons your mom and dad loves you because they know you. See, here's the best part about being a dad. I'm a dad now, so I can like look back, and when I was a teenager, I didn't understand this. I look at my kids and I say I love them. You might say, oh, mom, dad, you say you love me and you say that you're this, you're that because you have to. You're my mom and dad. It's 100% true. I was part of the creation project when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. Yeah, that part of the story. Like I got to see them be created. I got to see them being birthed. I got to see them when they enjoy life. So my kids, 2, 4, and 6, right now they enjoy life just for the simple fact that it exists. My kids right now could care less what you think of them. Trust me, when they get on the bus and go to school, I've seen them pick out their own outfits. They could care less what you think about because they look pretty. They enjoy life without the influence of the world. They're just enjoy. And so I see my kids, and your parents get to see you, or the person that cares and loves you gets to see you and saw you before the world had any influence on you. And they knew what you loved. They knew what excited you. They knew how silly and goofy you could be. They saw beauty in you outside of what you can see, because all of a sudden you started going, well, mom and dad, you just say that because you have to. And so you start discovering who you are, and you use the influence of the world, you use the influence of some mom and dad, some what you feel is good, and so all of a sudden you start evolving into this person that you think you're going to be, and we push aside what mom and dad think because they have to. Well, also understand that God saw you from the beginning and created you and loved you and sees all these things in you. And somehow we let the world get into, hey, you've got to wear this to be beautiful. Hey, guys, you got to bench this to be this strong and to be this awesome. You got to play this sport. You got to be part of this type of relationship. You got to do this to show them that they love. And all of a sudden the world gets in there. The problem is, I know my kids from the start. I know their passions. I know their desires. I'm going to continue to encourage them, and it's going to drive them nuts. You probably have parents that do the same thing. It drives you nuts, but you're like, but I want to be myself. God saw you from the beginning. And so in the beginning, it's the same with God. In the beginning, I don't know why I have that slide twice. Actually, let me give you an example. This is a fun example. Have you seen this? Shut up. Don't tell him. Don't tell him, Kyle. So this was on social media. So we have a view of what creation is. God has a view of creation, and we're trying to figure out the two. You have a view of who you are and what you do. Your parents see what your gifts and talents, and I can talk about Selah. Selah's my rule follower. She melts when she's in trouble. Wait, I'm in trouble? I'm so sorry! Like, that's just who she is. She wants to follow the rules. She's a rule follower. She loves people. She loves helping people. Delaney could care less about your feelings as long as she's flying from something. She doesn't care how she's going to land from something. She just cares that she's flying for something, and she could care less about your opinion on it either. But that's not going to change her whole life. She's going to be very outgoing. Selah's going to be our caring, nurturer, nurse, teacher, something like that where you're involved. Delaney's going to be our adventurer, explorer, numbers person. Selah loves reading. Like, I see these gifts and I know where her heart's going to go. Why? Because it's already ingrained in her from when God created. Same with you guys. So in the same way with God, what happens is the world's going to tell you, this is what it is. This is who you are. You have to have blue hair to be cool. I'm just kidding. I just picked you out. You just have to wear a New York Yankees hat, even though they're a terrible team. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. See, that's my interjection on you. But does that make sense? The world starts telling you what is and what based on personal preferences. That doesn't mean it's not a good team. Like, Aaron Judge just cranked home runs like crazy last year. It's a decent team, even though I can't stand them. The world does that. God does something different. See, the world sees things so much differently. So there was this skull, and they try to trick scientists. Scientists tell you, some of you guys taking the class where like the Big Bang Theory happens. You know, the world starts this way. This is the way it has to be because science says it. Okay, cool. So they found this skull, and they brought it into one of those guys that do science that are like, hey, we're going to take this skull, and we're going to give it a face, and this is what it's going to look like. Yes? Those scientist guys, they're like, yeah, this is where the muscle had to attach. This is the skull they gave them. They're like, oh my gosh, 10 gazillion years ago, this skull was found, and we found it. We need you to give it a face. And so they did it, science. Woo, science. And here's what they came up with. Boom, artist description of the animal. Could you imagine being in the wild, coming face to face with that monster? It's beautiful, some of you said, except for when you're face to face with it and you're pooping your pants. And so we're all freaking out going, man, look at that dinosaur. It's a new one. What will they call it? A Dwightosaurus Rex? It's dreamy. And then they go, yeah, this is the problem with science. Here's what it really is. We already have one of these. It's a hippo. There's the fun teeth. Yeah, here, let's go back to it just in case that you were like, yep, there it is. That's what they gave them. That's what they came up with. And that's what it really is. I can't see the difference. I'm so scared of it. So, we can make the same mistakes with God and His creation. See, the problem is you and I weren't there for creation. We weren't Adam and Eve. We didn't see God's mind. But we know that in the Bible, some of you guys read it last week. In the beginning, God created. And He said, this is how everything should form and function together. We believe it, and there's some scientists out there. I even printed out a piece of paper, and I forgot to bring it over. But there's this cool piece of paper where one of the scientists goes, man, we live at the perfect time where everything just so perfectly works together. Our human function systems, blood systems, all those things, the solar system, we're the exact perfect distance away from the sun that it creates this. And man, we live at such a cool, perfect time. And then the scientists go, hey, listen, let me show you a video. They're like, well, it's kind of like this building. And what's going to end up happening is it kind of explodes in on each other and then like shoots out. And the odds of what everything ends up happening is after that building explodes, underneath of it, it's about 15 like timepieces, like clocks that are perfectly together and can tell the right time. That's the odds of it happening. But if you look at the infinity of how much time we have for the odds of that to happen, we just happen to live in that perfect timepiece. And you go, really? And then you get to this guy, and there's this 15-minute, I was going to show you some of it, but I'm like, man, they're going to all fall asleep. So you'll watch it in some science class eventually. This guy, Sean Carroll, hi, Sean. Sean does this TED Talk where he's talking, hey, listen, so now our understanding of creation is everything that exists in this world right now literally started from a cube about this big. I'm like, wait, I'm fat. I don't fit in that cube. I ain't getting in that cube. And he's talking about all of the galaxies, he talks about like 100 million galaxies, and he's like, yeah, but it's kind of like everything's smooth, so like all of our atoms line up perfectly, and we can crush it all down in there. And then he starts talking about how like, but here's the deal, if that were the case, like everything aligns perfectly over the length of the super of the world and how long it exists. And so what will happen is eventually our suns, after this bang that happened, after this bang, and I'm like, so the bang happened from this cube and everything expanded out. Yeah. So then what happens is there's these like black holes, and they like continue to help expand the universe. And I'm like, who made the black hole? And he's like, well, just follow me here on this. And I'm like, okay, so again, remember, there's 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes of this. You can watch it. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice, to be honest with you, because I had so many questions. And he's like, well, nobody's obviously lived that long. This is our best guesstimation within a couple of million years. I'm like, million years? I'm getting 70 if I'm lucky, because I like chips. And so, like... So he's doing all these like sayings and things, and eventually he starts talking about, well, you know, there can also be the existence of like multiple universes. I'm like, you're watching way too many Marvel movies, bro. Like, settle down. Like, how do you know? Like, we couldn't even figure out what a hippopotamus looked like from its skull, and you're telling me. And so, I want to be, I'll give you an example. He's saying the entire world not just our world, but like 100 million galaxies, it's ever expanding, fit inside this can of soda. That's it. This can of soda is what everything fit in. And he's like, and then a bang happened. I'm like, who shook the can? Like, if there's no existence, who shook the can that the bang happened? Seriously, it's a real good question. Like, who shook the can? You know, you shake a can of soda, right? And then you do this. Oh, you guys didn't know? Mountain Dew is the only soda that doesn't, like, explode. It fizzes a little bit, but I scared you, though, didn't I? You might have lost your brain. Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to, like, I like a whole front row was like, ah! Yeah, Mountain Dew, you can shake it like crazy, it won't blow. You can smash it on the ground, it won't blow. Now everybody's going to go buy Mountain Dew. True story. It gives you a little fizz, but not too bad. I'm sure there's others, but Mountain Dew is one. So somebody had to like flick the can, and there's this big explosion, and then all of a sudden everything lined perfectly, and I got questions. But then I go from the Christian standpoint of view, because he goes through and he's like, well, there's a lot of these answers that we don't know, but if we as humanity can live past our star exploding and then surviving the black hole that will create, and then live in the void of 10 to the 100th one, or some stupid large number, if you can live past that, and then there's going to be this time of nothing before everything can collapse into itself again, and then somebody shakes the can and it blows up again. And if we could survive all of that, maybe by then we'll understand the answers because we've lived the full life cycle of a Big Bang Theory. And you go, huh? Like your mom and dad, I believe that there is something greater to outside of this world. I believe in the heaven and earth, and I believe we weren't supposed to live in this sin. I believe we broke it. I believe all of that. But I believe that there's a creator that saw me, who thought of me and knitted me together. He knew me. He knew what he wanted for me. He knows the life he wants for me. He wants to redeem me and have that elongated life with me into heaven, into eternity, without sickness, without hell, without all that. I think he designed it. I think he made it wonderful and perfect, and we can talk more about that over the next couple of weeks. But in the end, I have an answer. And it happened way before me and way before you. I had a God that said, I wanted relationship. Some of you guys are going through relationships right now. Some of you guys are going through friendships. All of science, all of history, all of relationships comes with this very simple fact. Everything exists based in relationship. atoms, electrons, protons, all of that stuff exists on relationship and togetherness. And the function together does something really awesome. And when you rip them apart, it creates huge explosions. Everything in this world is based on relationships. Shouldn't we ask instead of... Now, some of you guys, you don't have too many people you can ask in relationships, but I know a couple of small group leaders who would love to talk to you about it. Shouldn't you ask people... I know, some of you guys are freaking out going, ask older people who have been through relationships, who have been through brokenness, or maybe have successful marriages and stuff. Ask them about how they did it? That's stupid. I should ask a 12-year-old who's never been in a meaningful relationship, married, or anything like that, because they know everything. Yeah! Like brilliance, right? But yet we all smile and joke about it, but who do we run to first when we have to figure out how relationships work? Yeah, your friend, you're like, hey, how do I fix this? And they go, I don't know. It's like drawing a dinosaur, right? It's like no, ask the people who've been through it. Have good relationships. Or here's a crazy idea. Open your Bible and ask the person who created and understands and designed the idea of everything belongs and does very well inside relationships. The one from the beginning said, I want it all in relationship, and has done. There's a scientific term for that. It's called equilibrium, where everything, or homeostasis, where everything needs to return to this level of balance. Isn't it crazy that that's all God's been trying to do in our lives since the very beginning of our messing it up? Is returning things back to homeostasis so that we can live in a way. So why wouldn't we go to the Bible and go, hey, I want to be successful at relationships, at a job. We did that in Ephesians 5 and 6. Why don't we open up that silly book that says, hey, listen, I already know what a hippo looks like because I made it. Why don't we go back to that and have the discussions of the struggles of the things in life that we have right now? Why do we go to theories of, I think that's what it is, but this scientist is stupid. He thinks that it's this way, but I think she was right in this, but we don't understand it over. Why don't we just open the Bible and just trust that God has and wants to restore relationships, and he wants to do that in eternity, and I'll ride through whatever black hole he wants me to be in to have a good relationship with the God of the universe, because I want to see what more he can create outside of a hippo. I hope he creates that cool dragon-y thingy. That'd be pretty dope as long as it doesn't eat me. So, and I understand in heaven they don't eat you. So I'm totally down with that. And also, how many other dinosaurs did they screw up when they made those paintings, right? Could you imagine a T-Rex being just a little fat thing with like flippers? Like, that'd be cool, right? He was actually a fish. Finding Nemo with a little tiny... bad wing. How many more do they screw up? I don't know. I want to see. I want to get to heaven. I want to ask those questions. But for now, let's talk about, when we get into small groups, let's just talk about why, leaders have notes, but let's just talk a little bit about like you and the fact that you were created wonderful and beautiful. And there's no question or doubt about it. Your parents saw you from the very beginning. I saw my kids. I love them. I will always love them no matter how dumb they are. Why? Because I saw who God created them to be. I see a little glimmer into who the character in which he gave them. And I think they're pretty amazing. I see it a lot with you guys too. I don't get to spend as much time with you guys, but I see it in you, and I see you're amazing. And I want you to have good marriages and good best friend relationships and dating relationships and boss relationships. I want you to have all of those. That's why leaders do these small group events. That's why we go to Ocean City and we have a little bit of fun. We do it all under the help of you figuring out who you are in God and through God, not through some mistake or happenstance that you were goo at one point and then, woo, here we are in a perfect state of homeostasis. That's awesome. Sorry, I don't buy it. And it's okay to live in that world and to listen. But in the end, you're going to have to make your own big kid decisions. Eventually, you're going to have to teach your kids, hey, here's the evidence. You make a choice. I am willing to put God up to any scientist any day of the week and go, dude, he's going to rock you out because he already said he did it, and he's proven himself over and over again in every human that has ever existed on this earth. And that's a choice you have to make. Heavenly Father, I'm so excited about refocusing on who you are. refocusing on who you created us to be, refocusing on how you love us and how you created us. God, I hope these students really take a step back and understand that not everything everybody tells us is the truth. Help them have great discernment of learning the truth of who you are and how you created them to be and how you created this world to exist and form and function and how we're supposed to have relationships. God, you truly are good. And in that we find comfort and we find hope even when all else fails. We ask all this in Jesus' name, who came to restore that relationship so that we can live with you perfectly.